Hi everybody, so it's been a long time since I've made a video, but today I decided to do something art related instead of birds. And I've been making a bunch of stickers out of packing tape lately, so I figured I would make a video about that. So what you need is packing tape, and you can pick out whatever picture from the internet or whatever that you want to make your sticker. But you'll want to keep it within the size of the packing tape so you can fit the tape on it. And the best kind of ink to use, or the best kind of printer, is a laser printer, because inkjet printers don't really do the same thing. It's not as good and your picture might rub off. So I picked out some butterflies. They're pretty, and we don't have a printer right now, so I had to go to the library and print it off, and all they have is black and white, so oh well, they're still pretty. So basically what you do is you put packing tape on the front of it. So where your picture is should be all nice and shiny, because the tape, and the back of course doesn't have tape on it, it's just the paper. And I cut away the extra tape from the sides to make it easier. So yeah, got the tape on the top, and what you do is you have to burnish it. You have to rub it in with something dull, like a popsicle stick, or I use the handles of my scissors. They're dull, so they don't scratch it or, you know, tear it apart or anything. So basically, you rub up against it like that. Like you put it down on the table and you just put some muscle behind it and rub it in really good. If you've ever done transfers, like those decorations that you put on your wall, they're kind of like temporary tattoos, but for walls instead, where you just like stick the picture up there and then you rub it in with a popsicle stick and you peel away the backing and it leaves the picture. That's basically what you're doing. You're just rubbing it in really good. And once you have the picture nice and rubbed in everywhere, don't want to miss a spot or it might not leave the picture behind, then you put it in a cup of water. And I use warm or hot water. You don't have to do anything special, just regular tap water. And you want to soak it in there for a few minutes. It might make you nervous because you think, you know, it's going to ruin it, but it's not. If you rubbed it in good enough, then the ink should stay behind on the packing tape and the paper will rub away. So that's what you do next. You take it out of the water and you start rubbing the paper off the back. So you can sort of see some of it's coming off right there. And I don't do it like this. I do it in the sink and I rub it off really good under running water, so it doesn't stick to me like this and make a mess. But you know, you keep rubbing, rub all the paper off the back. It's pretty easy to get the big chunks off like that, but after you're done and you let it dry a little bit and get all the water off, you'll notice that there might be like some milky white stuff left from the paper, like really thin little bits of paper on it where it's stuck, and you can just keep running it under the water until you get it all off. Or if you're like me, I don't really care if there's a little bit of paper left that you can barely see. But yeah, so you just rub it all off like that with your fingers. I'm not brave enough to try it with anything else, so I just use my fingers and rub really hard if I have to. But so after that's done, then you end up with all the paper off and you have stickers. Yeah, it left the image behind, and you know it's clear, so it's a nice sticker. This one's still wet, but it's still kind of sticky too after the water dries off and everything. Most of mine, I use them to secure like the back of envelopes after I've sealed them. Put them on the edge on the back, keep it from getting torn open in the mail. And I found that usually they're still pretty sticky, even though you ran it under water and had paper stuck to the back of it. it still works like a sticker. And if not, then you can use some kind of glue to glue it to whatever you want. And I just cut mine out in squares around it, but you can get real specific and trim like all the way up against the picture. It doesn't matter, do whatever you want, but I think they're really cool and they're pretty quick. It only takes a few minutes to make them. After you rub it in really good, I just put it in the water for like, I don't know, I do a few like strips like this at a time. So as I do a strip, I'll put it in the water, and then when I'm done with everything, I'll start with the first one that I put in the water and start rubbing it. So, I don't know, like 5 minutes maybe at the most that they're in there soaking. So yeah, they're nice. I like them. They're fun to do. They're my redneck stickers. And you can literally make any kind of sticker you want. And if it's something that's bigger than like the width of your tape, you can actually overlap the tape on it. I don't really like doing that because it can sort of mess it up. Like when you're rubbing it in, you might forget which direction the tape's going in on the seam. You might accidentally rub the tape back and mess it up or something. But if you keep track of the direction your tape is going in, so you're always rubbing like with it and not against the seam, you know, it works just fine. One of mine that I just made, actually, I didn't make the tape quite long enough, so I had like half a butterfly sticking out, so I put, you know, an extra piece of tape and overlapped it really good and rubbed it in, and it worked just fine. Something you might want to keep track of is, well, not keep track of it, but keep an eye on it, is when you put your tape down, mine, like I guess the static sort of wants to make the paper cling to the tape before I even stick it, and that can make it where like you might have wrinkles or something. And I was kind of worried about that at first, but after I did it, I just, you know, did everything the same way and made sure I pressed down the wrinkles and the folds and stuff really good that accidentally happened. And it worked out the same way. I mean, you can tell that like the butterfly is kind of pinched together, I guess, or some of them might have a line through it because it didn't stick right or something, but it's okay. It still looks good. So just play around with it and have fun making stickers. Yay.